Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the Nourish Together Kitchen. I am Thais Harris, holistic nutritionist.
And I am Gigo Avocado.
How's it going, Gigo?
Pretty good. I understand we're going to talk about soaking today, and
That's right.
everybody knows that avocados love hot tubs, so this is going to be awesome.
Wow, that's new information to me. How cool.
That's how we stay smooth.
Aha, nice.
Rough on the outside, smooth on the inside.
So, great. So, well, here's a question for you and for you. Have you ever seen your grandma soaking your beans, for example, or her beans? Or maybe soaking some grains or even seeds and nuts? I actually have memories of sitting at my grandmother's kitchen and helping her pick the beans, because we would get these huge bags of beans that had not been really well sorted yet. Sometimes there would be even little rocks in the bean bags. So we would sit there and I'd have a bowl in my arms and just like pick the beans that looked good. They would go into the bowl and then separating all the stuff that was not meant to be cooked. And then she would soak. And of course, I didn't know why at the time. I was a kid. Until about a decade ago when it all made sense. Do you have any experience with that?
Well, my grandma didn't soak nuts. She soaked her pit, and now she's a tree. So...
Smart.
yeah.
That's great. Who soaked her pit?
A big hand came down
From above.
and put toothpicks in her side of her pit. Because grandma was gone at that point.
Okay,
So
got
anyway,
it.
she's now a tree. So she's not gone. She's just transformed.
Well, good. So the thing is that anything that can turn into a new plant, i.e. grains, beans, nuts, and seeds, they contain something called the phytic acid, right? So what that does, it's part of an anti-nutrient coating that most of those ingredients have. So anything that can, again, grow into a new plant is actually prepared to go through a digestive tract without fully breaking down, so that when, say, a bird eats a little seed here and then travels miles away and poops over there, that seed can come out intact and become a new plant. So everything in nature wants to reproduce.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
not the only ones, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so phytic acid, it can actually bind to really important minerals like calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, and even zinc, and especially zinc. And so nowadays, a lot of people have become more familiar with zinc because it's such an important nutrient for our...
Immunity?
Yes!
Ah, I
Good.
got one. I
There you
got
go.
one.
That's right.
I think I got one.
So exactly. And so we really want to make sure that, especially when we are eating foods that are rich in zinc, that we're actually able to fully absorb it, right? We can't just, if certain foods have a certain nutrient, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to absorb all of it. And so the more we can help a food be absorbable, the better. So soaking, and it's almost like the process of sprouting, except when we're soaking these particular foods, we're going to end that process before the sprouting stage so that we can actually cook it or roast it and dehydrate it and enjoy it that way. So we want to make sure that there's nothing in our food that's going to stop us from fully absorbing it. Now, there are also other anti-nutrients in this cloak of the seeds that soaking, especially with warm water, helps us neutralize. And so there are other enzymes that come up, and we can better, break down the foods overall and actually more fully digest them, on top of making those nutrients more absorbable, including bacteria. So sometimes we are soaking with apple cider vinegar, or even we can soak flowers in yogurt or kefir overnight outside of the fridge, and the bacteria will then pre-digest that food for us. So things like a soaked batter for pancakes can be an amazing way to make sure that the food the next day will be more readily absorbable, more fully digestible, and it tastes delicious.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So, do you think that my pit has phytic acid?
Not a ton, but we don't actually eat your pit. So I actually, you know what, Gigo? That's a great question. I need to research that.
Okay.
Do avocado pits have phytic acid? I kind of am actually thinking they probably do because, again, you become a new plant.
Well, like grandma.
That's right. And so what happens is that protection is there because, like I said, right, nature wants to reproduce. And so when we soak it, it's like we're tricking the plants. We put you in this environment where we say it's okay to grow into a new plant. So that would be the warm water and salt. For example, in the case of nuts and seeds, we're just going to soak with water and salt.
Oh, yeah.
In the case of beans and grains, we're actually going to use a little apple cider vinegar, like I said. Or in the case of grains and especially flours, we can use things like yogurt, kefir, even coconut yogurt. Do I have my little jar of coconut yogurt
I think
here?
I recycled it. Sorry. I'll go get it. Hold on,
That's
please.
all right. No, Giga, I love that you helped me so much. It's Coco June is a brand of coconut yogurt that is delicious. And so if you are dairy free, you can use a coconut yogurt to soak your batter as well.
I'll be right back.
So, okay. All right. This is full service avocado here. And we just destroyed our studio.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Hey, it's live. That's what happens. So what I would love to invite you to do is take a look. There's a download here with this video, and it's a soaking guidelines download. So it shows you the different amounts of hours and also liquid and or apple cider vinegar or lemon juice or anything like that you might use, including salt, to soak these different foods. So you see that, oh, thank you.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I forgot to unclip my microphone.
It's all right. So this is the yogurt I was mentioning. That was a lot of work for just this, but that's okay. I'm sure people watching will appreciate getting a little
Is it backwards?
view of it.
Okay.
Maybe it shows backwards. And by the way, when you are out of time and you forgot to soak, which, to be honest, in this last decade, I go through, these periods of time when I'm being really good about soaking everything. And then I get relaxed or I get crazy busy and I just forget to soak. So you can still cook your beans, but know that, for example, especially for beans, that gassiness that they can cause is greatly diminished by soaking them overnight. Or for some beans, for example, chickpeas, it could even be 24 to 48 hours. And so that is so much better because we're digesting those foods better. They're not likely to be undigested, feeding some not so great bacteria that then in turn is making us super gassy.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm highly suggestible.
So there is a brand, Eden Foods, that has organic beans in cans that are actually pre-soaked. Eden is the only factory beans that I know that are actually soaking their beans before canning them to the market. So that's one that I always have in my cupboard. I have some black beans from them, some chickpeas for those times when I don't soak and would need to use beans for a recipe or making hummus and things like that. And then for the nuts and seeds, it's great if you have a dehydrator, but if you don't, just see how low your oven will go. Because the idea with the nuts and seeds is to dehydrate them in low temperature to maintain a lot of their wonderful anti-inflammatory nutrients like vitamin E, etc. So we don't want to roast them at really high temperatures. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So please do download the guide. Nuts, seeds, legumes, and grains all have different soaking times and water amounts. So the guide makes it really easy. You can post it on your fridge or leave it in a place that's accessible. And then just remember the night before, if you are doing meal planning, which I also highly suggest you do because it does save time and money, then, the day before you can go, oh, I need to soak my beans for tomorrow. And then you put them in an Instant Pot the next day, and in no time they are ready. I just made beans the other day. Did you try some of those, Gigo?
No. They make me gassy.
Oh, these won't though.
Oh, because you soak them.
Exactly.
Oh.
And they're ready in not in 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes pressure cooking and maybe 10 minutes overall, they're ready. So it really pays to just think ahead a little bit, soak them, and it's not like it's intensive work. You just put them in the water, put them in the bath, and then the next day they're really ready. They'll cook faster as well. And what else? What else did I want to say today?
I think you wanted to let everybody know that if they have any questions, they can they reach out to you directly?
Absolutely. So send me a private message, post a comment in here. Please like these videos if you are getting some good information and this is making a positive change in your life. Make sure to like the videos, like Nourish Together, so you always know when a new one is coming out. I'm also going to be inviting everyone to join my private Facebook page that's actually going public, the Nourish Together Facebook group, where I'll be answering questions. And so ask the nutritionist or ask the momtritionist anything wellness and nutrition related, and I will be in there a few times a week answering questions. And yeah, I think that's it. Download the guide, like this video, share it with anybody that you think might benefit from this information, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
And reach out with questions?
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Mwah.
Oh, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.